with another banger. I don't remember the other video. I'm playing on Roblox on one of my ults. Yes, I have ults. I'm not one of those YouTubers that just have random accounts. So if I get banned, I go on this one. No, I play on. I'm going to be now playing on my White Foxy. And no, not that one. That was one of my other ones. My Sneaky Fox plays 6-6.
Exactly the right way to describe Windows 8 because it indirectly changed gaming forever. Gabe Newell, longtime Valve CEO but more recently a Stalker 2 player, tried Windows 8 when it released and said it was, quote, like this giant sadness. That's one hell of a review coming from the guy who's operating a multi-billion-dollar software company with a customer base that was comprised of 94.8% Windows users in 2013, and that statistic scared him shitless.
The direction that Microsoft was taking with Windows was one that attempted to narrow the openness of the PC platform. They wanted it to become a simple, streamlined software experience, similar to that of everyone's favorite lockdown software hellscape, the iPhone.
Microsoft saw the fat stacks that Apple was making off of the App Store, and they realized that if they could find a way to dam the natural flow of the river of software on Windows computers, they could be collecting a fee on every application that passes through it, much like the fees that developers have to pay Apple to host their apps on the App Store, even for free apps. And in a strong use of the do what Apple does but worse business strategy, that dam would come in the form of the highly anticipated Windows 8 App Store, which it would have had to be high to anticipate.
I'm in 5th.
It technically had apps, and you could technically download them, but they were all significantly worse than websites and traditional applications. They were all highly optimized.
Oh guys, this is literally, I'm playing on my ult. I don't have voice chat. That's why it's not as laggy.
Looking out the window of his gaming empire in Bellevue, Washington, Gaben saw the fires of consumer retribution consuming the Microsoft headquarters just a few miles away in Redmond, and he knew what he had to do to stop the flames from spreading and consuming Valve as collateral damage. He grabbed his Debian Linux fire extinguisher, and he did what he had to do. He sharpened his programming skills in a fun and engaging way with the sponsor of today's video, Boot.dev.
I've decided to become a back-end programmer, but I have two problems. I don't know what a back-end is, and I don't know how to program.
A boat dealer.
Boot.dev's whole thing is that they can teach you that stuff. They have courses that teach back-end web development and
Let's go to deal.
that appeal to your absolutely fried super attention span to make sure that you don't quit on boredom. And unlike some other
But then I'm actually gonna
has you write
go to
the code,
dealer,
not watch 10 hours of somebody else coding.
motorbike
Inevitably,
dealer.
you will end up getting
Because guess
stumped
what,
by
guys? I'm getting a motorcycle. Yeah. Should I sell the Dodge SRT?
Thinking in the right direction so that you still end up coming up with the solutions yourself. And honestly, this is like the perfect use for an LLM. Boot.dev has XP, levels, achievements, a leaderboard. The idea is that it tricks your brain into learning while the whole thing feels like a game. And if it ain't your kind of game, well, there's a 30-day refund policy, so worst case, you lose $0
it's right there.
and still get to pick up some good info about modads. Start programming and have fun doing it by going to boot.dev and using my code Ringus Studios for 25%
Easy
off
part.
your first year with an annual plan.
Now that I've hooked you with that intro with my award-winning animation skills and forced you to listen to my epic ad read, GG sponsor block users, it's time we learn about Steamboxes, SteamOS, and Steam Universe. And by we, I mean you, because I have other to do right now. Go Gadget, Tyler McVicker.
Yeah, Gabe gave me the mission when we put the hardware lab together. He's like, Microsoft is threatening us with excluding the store from being on Windows 8. If we're going to do this, I want to take Valve to the next level. The entire family participating in the living room on Steam. Grandma, grandpa, all the way down to the grandkids, having a great time on Steam.
And it started in a very abstract way. There was no set goal. At the time, it became clear that they needed to create their own operating system. They needed to create their own hardware to run that operating system. And if they wanted everybody to experience Steam, And they also need to develop input devices to work with that hardware and software. Dave Gould has been publicly jealous of Nintendo for years.
But this is something that Miyamoto has always had. What the input devices and the design of systems should be like while he's trying to design games. Our sense is that that's going to allow us to actually build much better entertainment experiences for people. The idea isn't like, oh, we suddenly thought we could make more money by building hardware, because hardware's actually traditionally been kind of a lousy, low-margin business. In order to take what we think are interesting
No, it
steps
wasn't.
forward
They
in
were
terms of the
left
kinds
in
of
there.
experiences we design, we need the ability to be
Mom,
thinking
there's
more
chocolate.
about everything that the customer wants to do.
So SteamOS is born.
No.
The Steam controller prototype is shown off.
That is
Valve
cool.
announces Steam Universe, and they're coming to the living room
These
of
are
Steam
additional
Box.
counters.
They never designed their own Steam boxes to sell in a retail space. Instead, they OEM out those designs to third parties, which did not do. SteamOS 2.0 is quietly and it seems as if they're doing it completely as well. This is the point that the team that would be working on this kind of hardware and software were instead working on virtual reality and
She can get away with
45.
living room box had quietly and slowly continued, with a few prototypes being made between 2016 and 2020. The only time we've actually
Gotta get into
seen
the-
this box in the quote-unquote wild was in the final hours of Half-Life Alyx. This exact box is sitting in there, and early iterations of what we are currently calling the DAC, Valve's next standalone VR headset, originally had to be tethered to a compute unit. This is a prototype of that compute unit. But that is supposedly just a Steam Deck you wear on your face, and you get to use this crazy Xbox Duke-looking controller on a virtual theater screen that.
The name of this will be linked in the description.
They may not always stick with whatever projects they're working on at a given time. When they do finish a project, it's usually going to push the industry forward. Hi, I'm Tyler McVicker. I used to go by Valve News Network, and I make YouTube videos about Valve software and a bunch of other stuff. I recently published a full-length documentary about the history of Half-Life 3, covering its development from 1998 all the way up to 2024. That is not a joke.
I took those and pushed them just a little further, but used those in both the Half-Life games, game.
What was that? Mike, I love you, but you only ever did music for Half-Life Alyx, right? In terms of Half-Life, it was just Alyx. And that video was the thing I am most proud of as a creator. If you're at all interested in learning about deep Valve software history or id Software history or anything related to like 90s PC gaming, I think you'll like my YouTube channel. Link down below.
Now that you're educated, your degree's in description, by the way, you can understand the allure that these Steam boxes would have in the current year. We barely got any of these things, and the ones we did get were fleeting and usually sucked. But at this point, they kind of got that Wii U appeal. It's been long enough that it's made into something cool. The rarest of them all was believed to be
Who am I taking it out while I'm speaking to
Valve
myself?
only gave 300 of these out to beta testers back in 2013, and they never saw retail release. But that one that Tyler mentioned from the final hours of Half-Life Alyx, nothing. Valve never released it, never sent it out to testers. Hell, they've never even acknowledged that it exists. Things a ghost. Nobody knows anything about it. It's completely unknown and undocumented, but considering how much time is still left in
I'm
this
just
video,
supposed to
I'm
play
sure you
DMZ with
realize
my friends
that
tonight,
that's
but
all
no,
about
Jen
to
can sit
change.
there and lie on me. It's not a big event.
As of right now, as I make this video, this unit is the only known Steam Machine variant of its kind that has ever made it outside of Valve HQ. So how did I get it? From two dudes named Jack and Mason, which is all I wanted to be credited as, and I did not blame them. Which reminds me, my Patreon is in the description if you want to help fund the imminent legal battle I'm going to have to fight because of this video. So thank you, Jack and Mason. Now let's get a look at
Just
this.
start taking it in there. And then I got cooking for days on end.
I still can't believe that this exists and is on my desk. Just looking at this thing, you would not really think much about it. If I saw it, I would just be like, oh, it's one of those crappy Inspirons or whatever, like the Costco special slimline PC that your grandma has. But something about it's just not right. Like the completely blank page, there's nothing on it. Really, the only thing here is 3 USB ports, a little bit of ventilation on the side, some more on that side, some ventilation on the top, and
My
around the back.
ears.
A super basic rear audio, all the audio jacks in the world, Ethernet, 4 USB ports, and
She
the
can sit there and lie
recovery
on
button.
people.
What's the recovery button? Probably will be doing that later. And then in the middle, we've got this rope.
it's not on the motherboard and it's not on the GPU. Oh yeah, we have a GPU. Evidently,
Even though this game's called Vehicle Legends or something,
No, nothing.
gotta get it in that orange with white, black.
This is Dell Alienware's attempt at Steam console back in the day. See, look at that right there. But this
Yeah,
computer
no, that's actually orange. Purchase.
branding, nothing.
XOD.
Now, this case is side of this.
A little left.
I have no idea. I haven't even opened this thing yet. And since there's really nothing else left to look at, I think it's about time that we find out what's inside this Valve Steam Machine thing that I'm
Because you were
definitely
able
not
to
supposed to
prove it.
have.
If you're not able to prove it, you immediately jump into enclosure.
It's got hard drive. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. We're on red alert. I'm not taking any risks. For game
The license
preservation's
plate.
sake, I'm taking these out if I can figure out how.
California.
Superior might be.
Sneaky fox.
There we go. Okay, there's two hard drives. The top one's a terabyte. Not sure about the bottom. They look the same though. Okay, want to get one thing out of the way. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. No files or data found inside of this computer will be shared, distributed, or made available in any way. I do not claim ownership of any copyrighted material or intellectual property that is on this hard drive. All rights belong to their respective owners. This video complies with fair use principles by discussing and analyzing historical and technical aspects without infringing on anyone's copyright. Please do not come after me. With that said, I'm gonna go make some images. Okay, that took a while. So they are both a terabyte. And I'm a little sorry I got your guys' hopes up with my legal disclaimer and everything, but I don't think there's anything on these. This one is literally empty, and this one just has what looks to be like a basic Windows 8, basic Windows 10 installation.
Actually kind of
Like
chill
you
being
wipe
in
your
the
hard
car.
drive, reinstalled Windows.
Then
That's
I
all that's on there.
should
At least
probably
looking at
get
the
to
file
an area
system,
where it's
I
safe.
took the images in a way that lets me scan them for deleted data. You know how like when you delete a file, it's not actually gone? You just told the hard drive, hey, it's okay for you to replace this with something else if you need to. The image that I took holds on to that old deleted data. So I'm running a few tools through it. We'll see if we can find anything cool. But for now, I guess we'll just throw them back in. We got this cute little power supply, this MSI GPU of some kind, this AMD looking ass motherboard, and a whole interposer riser system going on. There's a lot to sink our teeth into. Oh geez, but before we do that, I should at least power it on to make sure we're actually functional. I was told it works, and I've seen pictures of it working, but I haven't seen it working myself. And that's probably a good thing to validate. I wouldn't be surprised if it took one look at who owns it now and decided to just never work again. Whoa. Oh, where'd it